In the heart of Uganda's capital, Kampala, refugees are living on the streets in makeshift shelters. They seek asylum from conflicts in Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya, Congo, Sudan, Somalia, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. They are a mixture of refugees and asylum seekers, most without recognized refugee status from the Ugandan government. Today, they are being evicted. The city government views them as squatters and a nuisance.
We have given all of them money, they have shifted. Only this one family thinks they are so bright. Me, I don't want to bring police to beat them up.
Weeks later, these same people came back to this place and began rebuilding shelters. They have no alternative. Thousands of refugees and internally displaced people in Uganda have similar stories. In 1999, the Refugee Law Project began within the law program at Makerere University in Kampala to promote and protect the legal rights of forced migrants in Uganda. It offered a free legal aid clinic for refugees, the only of its kind in the country. It started with 2 legal officers on the payroll. It has since grown to over 40 staff members and volunteers working in legal aid, research and advocacy, psychosocial counseling, and education and training. Are you thinking of staying here forever in Uganda?
Actually, that spirit I have in mind.
It was all a response to the staggering number of forced migrants within Uganda's border. There were over 250,000 refugees from wars and instability in neighboring countries. And there were 1.7 million Ugandans displaced in guarded camps, mainly by a 21-year civil war in northern Uganda between the government and the rebel group, the Lord's Resistance Army.
The Refugee Law Project was set up in 1999 as a result of a piece of research about refugees in Uganda and in Kenya, which looked at whether or not they enjoyed their rights as refugees. And it found that even though Uganda in particular is generally thought to have quite good legislation, that they didn't enjoy their rights the way that they should.
But I think one of the most important things is to understand is that Uganda both generates and receives refugees. And in terms of reception, we've got a history that goes up to the early 20s.
We couldn't really talk about refugees without looking also at internally displaced people, or IDPs, and the conflicts which lead to internal displacement, particularly in northern Uganda, which until recently was one of the largest internal displacement situations in the world.
Refugees and internally displaced people often live restricted and impoverished lives in Uganda. A majority of refugees live in remote, rural refugee settlements. Even those that live in cities in their home country are expected to adapt and become farmers here. Many Ugandans from the north have been displaced from their land and forced into camps where they're supposed to be protected against rebel attacks. Camps and settlements are commonly overcrowded and plagued by poor sanitation. Malaria, dysentery, and cholera hit the protected villages in waves.
Are you a doctor?
Yeah, I can assist.
You can assist?
HIV infection rates can be drastically higher than the average. Food and medicine are scarce and often targets for theft. Violence, rape, and ethnic and religious rivalries emerge in these makeshift communities. In the Changwali refugee settlement in western Uganda, this woman's house was burned down because she's a Rwandan Hutu. Children in camps and settlements often leave school and are used as laborers. Employment is seldom adequate, and laws keep those without refugee status from working. Family life deteriorates. Individual tragedies are countless.